And now, please welcome to the stage Cookie for Cookie Talk with her personal testimony.
Welcome, everybody. Testing, also, 1, 2. I decided to do this talk because it was in the right place at the right time to do this talk, as you'll see. The synchronicity of it and the unity values that came out and helped me were just incredible. And it was taking place December 12 and December 13 of those years. And I was sitting on my patio sunning myself, and I had just sold my house and had a little bit of things that I loved, and I was deciding what was going to happen because I was going to become homeless because there was no money left in the kitty after selling and paying all the bills. And so well, of course, a lot of people go into the river of denial, and I was pretty much there myself, but I said, well, I better check and see. And so I had a cousin in Arkansas, and I said, can I come and stay with you? And he said, very reluctantly, yeah, you can come. And so I packed up the truck and moved to Beverly, as they say. And it got progressively colder, and my car did not have any heat in it. And so when I landed there, it was about 20 degrees, somewhere around there. And so anyway, we unpacked my stuff, and that took a day. And he had a trailer that he was going to let me stay in. And that trailer took 6 days to unpack. And I still cannot tell you anything that we unpacked. It would be a large secret, and only God knows that. So anyway, I was really moving down into a really bad place, and it started to get colder and colder. And so that first night, when I went into the trailer that I was going into, I called 3 friends and I said, you know, look, if I die, will you please take my body out? Please do something here. It was so cold, and there was no heat and no lights in that trailer also. So I was kind of in a really bad place, as you can imagine, and it's something that we don't like to talk about, homelessness, but it happened to me, and it happened quite quickly. So what the next thing was I started to think, well, I better find a community. So I started going to all the fast food places and finding people, servers and managers that I liked. And I went into the Burger King one morning and to have an egg and a coffee, and there you were. You came in with 2 sons, and you were so beautifully coiffed. I could tell you just stepped out of the shower. There were 2 little boys with you. You were going to take them to school, and it was just, that was the life I knew and I missed. And so just as you got ready to leave with the boys, you said, God bless you. And I said, God is good all the time. And he said, and all the time God is good. And just as he got ready to leave, he turned around and he said, I love you, sister. I cannot tell you. At the time, my life was so bad, and that was such a difference that it was, well, I sat and I bawled in the Burger King for 10 or 15 minutes and had a moment where I said, you know what, life is good. Life is good, isn't it? And so I went out, and I had 2 other angels that finally found me a job. I got on my feet. The car got heat in it. What a wonderful thing. I eventually got an apartment. I got a job from 2 ladies that helped me get my job in little increments. And so I was a caregiver. And at the end of December, my patient passed away, and I loved him. He was very good. But I said, well, now what do I want to do? And of course, I knew I wanted to come back to Florida because I'm a Florida native, and this is my place. And so I said, well, I'll think about it tomorrow. I had one of those moments. I went down to the Burger King again and had my little egg and drink. And as I looked up, there you were with those two boys. And I rushed over to see you. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I had no name, no idea of who this gentleman was. But I said, you know what? You saved me that day. You saved me that day. And what a day that was. And I got on my feet. And it was just interesting to know that the other variable missing in my life, which I had put in so many applications to get a job here in Fort Myers, and I could not get a job, and I couldn't get a job, and I couldn't understand what I was missing as a caregiver, and I was missing a year's worth of experience, just what I had received from the universe. So when it comes to unity and synchronicity and all the people that lifted me up that day and other days, I want you to know that this stuff really, really works. It's good stuff. Thank you.